Hello and welcome to this episode of In the Loop. Today, IA publisher Gary Robinson meets Gavin Pluck, SEO and Group MD of Blacktower Financial Management.
So here we are on another episode of In the Loop, IA's In the Loop series, and I'm really excited to have Gavin Pluck, who's the SEO and Group Managing Director at Blacktower Financial Management. Have I got your title right, Gav?
Yes.
Finally.
Mouthful, right?
No, it's, tell me, so we're here in the DIFC, we're in your offices that couldn't be better placed, right next to the Capital Club, perfect for our event tomorrow, which is our event tomorrow, and, you know, in the heart of where everything's happening in Dubai. How's it all going, Gav? And tell us about your journey to Dubai, you know, because how long have you been here now?
When this journey started, because I was out here previously on and off for many years, obviously in a previous life, a previous company, with Blacktower, we started nearly 4 years ago now, where we had the idea to have a license in Dubai, but actually wanted a DIFC license. But obtaining that license, because we needed and we wanted a retail endorsement, took a lot longer than we expected. They told us it was going to be 2 years. There's a lot of companies trying to come into the DIFC at that time, and it was over the COVID period, just after the COVID period actually, and the lead up was almost 3 years.
Things take time in Dubai, don't they?
Spent a lot of time in Dubai working with the DFSA, the regulators, to obtain the license, set up office, recruit, everything else that goes with starting from scratch. And here it's up to 2 years now. We've had the license, and yeah, things are finally working very well, and you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
You guys you've got the kind of opposite ends of the world almost. So you've got Dubai, you've got Europe. So it kind of starts with Dubai,
Yeah.
Europe in the middle of the day, and then you've got the US in the evening. Your days must be pretty long days.
Yeah, so you ask about my lifestyle. It's fortunately I live close to the office, so I tend to work relatively late in the evenings if I'm dealing with the US. Obviously, I've got a lot of help with the US. We've got Ali that's has oversight, James, and some excellent advisors operating in the US. But yeah, it does lead to some late calls. Europe, very fortunate enough to be spending a lot of time in Spain, Portugal, and our head office in Gibraltar and Cyprus as well, which isn't too far from here. It's quite an easy trip from here. But yeah, it's busy, spinning a few plates, but with a fantastic team behind me, behind John and myself, and it really it works.
It does, and yourself and John, you seem to work really well together. You've always you've always come across as a proper team. You know, different characters, but a real team ethic. How does that all dovetail? Because John, is he still out in Portugal? Or?
Yeah, obviously John's in Portugal, but John's Portugal, Gibraltar, Cayman. So you know, he's very busy travelling. He gets out here on a regular basis when he can. Yeah, no, we have good. I've known John for many years, so we're friends before I joined the group. So we know each other's personalities. You know, John's relentless. He's very, very hard worker, and yeah, we speak together a number of times during the day. Again, we've got some very good guys in senior management, and it works. It works well. You know, we have great meetings. No one's shy in that meeting. Everyone will say their piece, and John is a very collaborative individual who takes everyone's opinion into account.
You guys did incredibly well this year with the awards, and you've done well with the awards from IA in the past with the best practice side of things. Look, every business has had its undulations, and you've been around a long time, so you've seen it all really. You've seen the roller coaster. You've seen the industry change. What made you go down the route where best practice has to be at? I mean, it sounds like a no-brainer, right? Best practice has got to be at the forefront of everything that you do. But what made you, really change, you and John, and really hone in and focus on that side? Because it's not always the most profitable way to run a business, is it?
No, unfortunately, you've got best practice, you've got regulation, very tight regulation, and you've got commerciality to deal with as well, which commerciality is always at the forefront of my mind as well. One of the reasons when I first came to Blacktower, I was struck by the level of client care, focus on compliance, and making sure that best practice is always at the top of the agenda. However, I felt that there needs to be some level of, an increased level of commerciality in there as well. Blacktower have always been that company that puts that at the forefront. That level of due diligence goes into everything the advisor does. We have a four eyes process, so nothing goes out to that client until it's been checked by head paraplanners and senior managers in compliance, and the level of work that goes into that to keep in line with the expected compliance and regulation that's out there at the moment is enormous. And what pleases me is picking up that award, because there's so much time and effort that goes into best practice that you haven't got time to explain what you're doing to pick up awards. There's only so much resource left, and we've focused on actually let's let you see exactly what is taking place behind the scenes. And I think anyone that comes into our back office and works with our incredible administrators, compliance staff, all the people that put that best practice in place, I think they're generally extremely surprised of how much actually goes into that. So it was a pleasure to see that award come to fruition, and also a number of individual awards, individuals that were named, including Claire Irvine, John, and Karen Ogilvie as well, because what she does behind the scenes is incredible.
When I saw them come through, I was particularly pleased for John to win the Personality of the Year award. I think he's had a really good year, and of course, Gav, it's been capped by I got a call from you a couple of weeks back about some exciting news. Tell us. Apparently, it was a good few months in the making. Tell us how this deal with Titan happened, and tell us how excited you are about what the future is going to look like for Blacktower under the Titan wing.
Okay, yeah, no, it's the timing couldn't have been better. I spoke to you just before, or I think it was just after the awards. So the awards went out, and I remember watching the awards.
It was the day after.
Yeah, it was the day after, and I thought it was quite ironic that we were just pipped to the post where we won.
You won best practice,
most highly recommended, and we were just pipped to the post by Titan.
You won the best practice award for Europe. They picked up the best practice award for for the Middle East, and then the overall award, you guys were highly commended, and they won.
And they won, which was just before I was going to make the announcement, and John and myself were going to have the conversation with yourself.
It's really funny.
Yeah, very interesting. And
So you won twice then. You must have thought, well. we've won twice.
Yeah, no, it's obviously a very exciting chapter in our 40-year history at Blacktower, and I'd go as far as to say I think it's quite an exciting chapter from an industry point of view as well, in terms of what may happen and what this may mean to the industry. We were working. We'd spoken to Titan a couple of years ago. John was in talks with Titan, and we were talking to another company because obviously we know how the future of this industry is looking, and if we want to really take things further and give clients what I believe they deserve in this industry in terms of best practice as well, you need larger resource, a level of resource behind you that you perhaps didn't need five years ago.
Yeah.
It's becoming so complicated to navigate this international market with regulatory rules in place and what we can and can't do. And there's a lot of frustrations being felt by advisors internationally when dealing cross-border at the moment because of that. So for us, we realised that we needed to additional resource, whether that was through PE investment or focus, and we were already down the road in speaking to another company because Titan had obviously very focused on completing with AHR at the time and a number of other companies. So we were down the route with another organisation which, deep in talks with fantastic offer as well, effectively. However, what that offer didn't, from a financial point of view, very strong. What it didn't offer us was the level of collaboration and the fit that Titan could offer. What Titan bring to the table, and where we benefit from the scale, the level of resource, institutional central investment proposition that they have, and the technology that our advisors and our clients will benefit from. What we bring to the table from Titan is a fantastic international footprint, global international footprint. I would say one of the best in the industries. Merging that with Titan International's footprint as well. It really, I don't think there's too many places that we're not really covered. Our 40-year reputation, our experience in the international sector that we can bring to the table, it fits perfectly, and that was more important to us, and that's why we actually went down the route with Titan and opened up talks. I met with Dan, and the great thing for me is I know many of these guys. I've worked with many of these guys in the past.
Tell me that background, because you recruit some of the guys. Well, tell me about, and where was that? How did all that work?
Yeah, that was a previous company at GWM. I worked closely with a number of the senior guys and directors at Titan Wealth, known Dan, and it's nice to be reconnected with those personalities because there's a lot of similar mindsets in terms of the focus, what we want to achieve and where we want to take the business. And I have to say, Tyler Phillips, Dan Dickinson, Assad, Will, all these guys, including the CEOs, and Andrew and James within Titan, they've been a pleasure to work with. Very understanding of our business, and our business is quite a complex one, Blacktower, because we have Blacktower advisors and we also have the network. I think during the early conversations, whether the network was going to be appealing to them was something that we weren't sure about. The more they looked into and did their due diligence on how we worked with the network and the guys that some of the excellent companies that we have within the network, the more they understood the fantastic opportunity that lies ahead to expand and collaborate on what we already have in place that's already working well. And with the additional resource, like I said, technology and the actual scale that we have, that Titan can bring to the table, I think it's, from an advisor's point of view or a networking point of view, it's a perfect opportunity to grow your business.
Well,
and from a client's point of view as well, it's going to give them all the additional bells and whistles that we probably are unable to do it or have been unable to do, as for example the expanded central investment proposition from institutional share classes as well.
You know what, the interest in the story was incredible, and it was we broke the story, and we worked with you guys on that. Over the weekend, I remember, the bits and pieces. I'm going to ask you a question about the deal in a second, but just to say, we realised the capacity that we have on our servers is probably needs to be slightly bigger than it is, because you almost crashed our website, Gavin, with that story. It was ridiculous. It was like we were, our web team had assured me that it could never happen, but that because it was only coming through us, it just went crazy. It froze one of my pages. I got a 404 message. I was saying, "Oh my God, the site's down." It wasn't. It was just creaking to the limits. So I think we're gonna. In fact, you probably.
So it was my mobile.
I can imagine. You've cost me a little bit of money, because we're going to have to upgrade as a result of that. But this is a nice to have problem, isn't it?
Yeah. This isn't consolidation for consolidation's sake. This is about building a better, bigger platform that's equipped for the future. Really equipped to sort of like navigate the complex international finance world that we're in at the moment, and becoming increasingly more difficult to do as an independent on your own.
I can completely see that, and I can see how it works. What's it going to look like? How's it going to? Who's going to be in charge? Are you going to keep this office? How's the whole thing going to play out? What's first off? What's the next 6 to 12 months going to look like, and how do you see the future going?
Okay, well,
there's a big question for you.
Yeah, I mean, as I said to everyone, it was a pleasure to get these heads of terms agreed, and everything is subject to regulatory approval now. We've, as I said to everyone, is where the hard work starts. You've got two companies here, two very large international organisations. So we were acquired by Titan Wealth Management, to integrate and merge with Titan International. So yeah, again, I'm on a daily basis. We're dealing with the senior management team to collaborate and understand where the best personalities fit in terms of who can do the best job where. And now we've got the resource to be able to do that. I'm here in the DIFC. As things stand, there's no change, and it's business as usual. But I know the guys at Titan Wealth are very excited about the future of what we can potentially do here in the DIFC, and likewise, I'm excited about under ESCA, the licenses that Titan Wealth have, taking into account SISEC under the EU, Australia, obviously the UK, US, Cayman, all the other licenses. It gives us in Singapore, a fantastic opportunity to really go out there and expand with what I believe will be one of the best offerings for advisors and their clients moving forward. When
you mentioned it to me, Gavin, I've got to say, I saw the sense in it. I saw the fit. You know, we know the guys that were AHR. Now, is it TWI? Titan International is what I call them. Sometimes TWI, Tyson Wealth International. The guys over there, they do have a similar mindset. I think what they're trying to do is what everybody says they're doing, which is what you guys do. It's client first, client centric, client first. Do things the right way.
That was the first, or probably the most appealing thing to us at Blacktower, and that, especially from John's point of view, John Westwood's point of view. We've spoken to a number of companies. We know how this industry can be, and that was the most important fit. First and foremost, what's their mindset like when it comes to their clients? Very similar approach. We know that the individuals that they have. Rebecca, you've got some great. They've got some really good staff, back office individuals there that work very well with our back office. They already know each other, such as Bernie Saka, is very experienced within the industry as well. Rebecca Ellis, who I've worked with in the past, and that actually builds the base to build on. From that client first, we can build on making sure that the advisors are looked after. The advisors have all the best tools at their disposal, and some of the best options that are out there for potentially their exit strategy or their buyout strategy to continue. I don't like calling it an exit strategy, because many of the advisors at AHR benefited tremendously from the offering, which is on offer to our advisors. Doesn't mean that they've exited or retired. They're actually doing more business now than they ever have previously.
Yeah.
And that's something we've got to look forward to, because I know how the marketing machine that's in place at Titan Wealth, in collaboration with our marketing team, is going to work. And that's what I'm very excited about from an advisor's point of view as well.
Well, I think many congratulations on the deal. Fingers crossed on the regulatory approval. Finding out how that deal came together is really fascinating, and it's interesting because we had a similar interview earlier this year with Will Burrows, and one of the things I asked him, and I said this from a completely selfish point of view, because in many respects, I felt the pain that goes with not being able to talk about a deal, number one, and when it's going through the due diligence stage, oh my God, the lawyers and it's just backwards and forwards. When we bought IA, who were our biggest rivals, and I'm putting that together with II, and owning them under two titles under one publishing house, it took ages. It took about 6 months. And I thought it should have been 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So that stressful, how did you cope with the stress with that, number one? And what did it feel like when it finally, landed and came through?
Yeah. Obviously, there was a feeling of elation after the awards, because we just got to heads of terms. Because you're aware of all the work and the back and forth with lawyers, with the team that has gone on behind that. And as important as it is to sort of make sure that we're working with both sides of the legal teams, who have been brilliant, we've had the benefit of collaborating directly with the individuals on the other side. It's always very difficult, because you want to talk about something, what's taking place further down the line, but you can't speak about it. But we've got to be clear. I think it's the DD is still taking place. We've gone through a hell of a lot of due diligence, and that's still ongoing. And again,
is there a timeline on it?
Subject to
regulators
approval, but I believe we've got through the bulk of it, probably a lot more than where AHR were at the stage of heads of terms. I think
it helps that that's happened. Afterwards. Yeah, it helps that they've already sort of gone through that process as well, so they'll be able to draw on that experience. Let me ask you something about recruitment, because we're in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
This is a competitive market. Crazy competitive, isn't it? At the moment, it feels like the center of the financial advisor universe, Dubai, right now.
Yeah.
Is that a fair thing to say?
It's a very busy place. You know, I think you've only got to look at the demographics in terms of the number of multi-millionaires that are moving over. Obviously, advisors, they're going to need advice. So
a lot of people from the UK come in, so having those kind of cross-border connections are really vital.
Absolutely, and there's some very good companies out there and some strong companies. Fortunately, I've been working in the industry long enough to have very close connections with a lot of these companies. I know many of the characters that are leading these companies as well. So yeah, it is a very competitive market. You have recruiters out there that will use.
How do you keep hold of your staff, number one, right? Yeah. These are the two questions. How do you keep hold of your staff? How do you stand out from the others with recruitment? How's all that going? And why do people stay here? What's the ethos?
Okay, well, I believe you might be speaking to some of the staff later and get their take. But I think it's difficult when there's noise. There's going to be noise in advisors' ears on a regular basis. Yeah, and a little bit of skullduggery that goes on. You've seen some of the approaches, and we've been fortunate to get have many of our advisors pass this information on to us so we can see what's being said. Ultimately, for me, it's about transparency.
Name names. No, I'm only joking. No. I know you wouldn't want to do that anyway, but
well, I would, but probably not the right forum. But
how do you cope with that, though? I mean,
it's difficult. The way I see this, it's going to happen, especially when something big like this is announced. That period of time, this is why we wanted to announce it and be as transparent as we can with our advisors and also clients, so let them know, everyone know what's happening, the reasons behind it, the benefits, the pros, and just so everyone can make an informed decision. But others are going to take that period, that opportunity to look at uncertainty. And there's always
any chinks in the armour that could be perceived.
People don't like change.
What a fascinating chat, Gavin. It's so nice to see you, and I'm really looking forward to the event tomorrow where you're on our panel, and we'll continue the chat there. But many congratulations on the deal. Many congratulations on the II Awards wins, and great luck for the future. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Gary. Cheers.
Thanks for watching or listening wherever you get your podcasts. Join us again next time for In the Loop.